videos are positivity and upbeat, but this video, I'm with my cousin Shani. She wanted to heal for herself and to help others for victims of sexual assault and rapers. From taking this video, I want you guys to continue to educate others how being raped or sexually assaulted, there's no gender, there's no race, it's not about what you wear. And if someone you know who is a victim of this, to always be supportive of them and be there with them because they need it more than ever. Try to understand their situation, motivate them to keep going, let them know that this storm is not forever. So enjoy this video. Please listen, educate others. Everyone, have a good day. Thank you.
So, hi everybody, my name is Chantel. I'm 28 years old. I am a mother of 5, and I'm basically here with my cousin to tell my story about something that happened to me. I was held hostage and raped and beaten, and I just want to share my story with you guys and let people know that they are not alone.
First, before we begin, how did you know that, when did you know that you wanted to obviously come to me or to get your story told to help others?
When I seen you start the channel and the videos, watching the motivational videos and things like that, I thought maybe this would be a good way to put my story out there, get the word out there to other people, let them know that this type of thing does happen and that they're not alone and that they have somewhere that they can go and watch a video or talk to somebody. Obviously me or her would be somebody that you guys could talk to if you went through this situation, because obviously I understand exactly how it is and how people can feel like obviously other people won't believe them or people don't understand because they haven't been in those situations. So I just wanted to be a person that young people or anybody could come and talk to about that type of situation.
That's amazing. So how long have you held this in? You haven't told anyone?
So it happened October 22nd, 2017. So I would say like 2.5 years I've been holding this in. So quite a long time.
Okay. So right now she's going to tell her story. So before we start, I want to know if this topic triggers you, to please do not watch it. I don't want it to trigger anyone. But please be mindful and listen. Definitely is really hard for her, and obviously me listen to it. This is really important. So I want you to start off with your story about what happened, and then from that we'll take it from there.
Okay. So I was basically meeting up with this guy who I didn't know. We were supposed to hang out. When I got to his house, he basically sent me to an abandoned building that I didn't know it was abandoned until I got inside. Once I got inside, he pulled a knife out on me, he blindfolded me, and he proceeded to rape me. And I started trying to text my friends because he was trying to steal my phone. So I started texting people, letting them know like, oh, something's happening, I need some help, you know. That wasn't working. He just proceeded to rape me. When he stopped, I tried to get up and run out the house. At this point, I didn't have on any pants. I only had on a shirt. I tried to find a door that was open that I could get out of. I started banging and screaming on the door. He ended up coming, grabbing me from behind, and he started choking me and beating me. He beat me really bad. I had bruises all over my face. I was bleeding. He then blindfolded me again, raped me again, and then basically choked me out until I couldn't breathe anymore. When I couldn't breathe anymore, he realized I couldn't breathe anymore. He said that the only way he would let me go is if I basically walked out of there and left my phone with him and acted like nothing happened. Because my friend who was outside, who basically came to try to save me, started calling my phone, and he got suspicious, and he basically ended up telling me like he would let me go, but for me not to scream, not to say anything, just walk outside. So when I went to walk outside, I started running. I ran in the wrong direction. I couldn't find my friend. I was lost. I didn't have a phone. I found this lady randomly on the street. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. This lady was getting on the bus. She seen that I was covered in blood, and she asked me what happened. I told her what happened. I ended up remembering my friend's number, so I called them. they came and picked me up, and I went to Rush Hospital. There they did a rape kit on me. They gave me information about getting help. They treated me for everything. And then I went a few months without saying anything to like the detectives or anything like that, because they obviously wanted me to press charges. Then all of a sudden he did the same thing to another girl, and he basically left her there for dead. So once I heard that, I felt like it was time for me to stand up and tell my side of the story, because not only did he try to kill me, but he tried to kill another young woman. So he was obviously a serial offender. They ended up with all my information. He stole my phone. So he stole my iPhone, and we all know, like, if you have an iPhone, most of the time, if you don't log out of your iCloud, it's still linked to whatever new phone you get. So when I logged back into my new iPhone, everything from my old phone came to my new phone, and I started freaking out because I started seeing pictures of him randomly pop up on my phone, him talking to other girls, and I had literally had a mental breakdown. My mom and my boyfriend told me, like, you need to speak up and tell the police what happened. So that weekend I called the detective. They came out to my house. They were really nice. They spoke to me. They spoke to my mom. They took all the information down. And about a week later, I went to the police station out south. They had me, basically they recorded my statement and, you know, took all of my information there. And then my detective that I was working with at the time, she told me that they basically found out who he was, and they were going to look for him all weekend, and if they couldn't catch him over the weekend, they were going to arrest him at court, because he had court that Monday. And sure enough, he came to court, and now he's currently in jail. And we're basically about to start going to trial, me and the other girl, so we can tell our story to try to get him to do time.
That's amazing.
So it's been a very long and hard process. It's scary because it's like, you know, at first I didn't want to go through with it because I thought, okay, maybe he won't get in trouble. Maybe they'll let it go. But once I came out and I told my story, I realized there was another person he had harmed, and then he was still talking to younger girls and trying to get them to come and visit him and things like that. There has to be a stop. And if I have to tell my story in order for this to happen, then that's what I'll have to do, because I couldn't live with myself knowing that I could do something about it and he was still out there hurting women. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing, because from you speaking up, you saved other people that could have got hurt, and you could have been killed yourself. Mm-hmm. So that was really, really brave of you.
Yeah, it was very scary. It was probably the hardest thing for me to go through in my life, because I have a 5-year-old daughter. I couldn't imagine somebody doing something like that to my child. Mm-hmm. So I know it hurt my mom, my siblings that do know, it hurt them a lot. But I had to be brave enough for myself, for my child, and for other women to speak out against this person, because obviously he's a serial offender, and if he doesn't get help or get jail time, then it would get worse, you know. And then who's to say he could kill somebody, or he could, you know, really seriously hurt a woman, and then I would feel like somewhat of it was my fault because I didn't speak up and put this person behind bars where they could get the help that they obviously need. And I know they speak a lot about forgiving the person who hurt you, but it's really more like you said, forgiving yourself, because at the time when it happened to me, I did believe it was my fault, because I went and I met up with somebody online who I didn't know, and obviously that was a bad idea because it was nighttime. I shouldn't have went and met up with that person, that's right. But at the same time, I couldn't have known that they would have, you know, caused any harm to me, because obviously I'm talking to them for a while, they're making it seem like they're a good person, so obviously how would I have known that? And I think what it was is he was actually trying to rob me, and since I didn't have any money on me, he took it to that step. And he just stole my phone, and he did what he did to me. So it just made it a little bit worse, because maybe I felt like maybe if he was able to just get the money, he would have left, you know. So just in the whole situation, it was just a really messed up situation, and I just, you know, I just thank God every day that, like, I made it out of the situation alive. I'm here to be able to tell my story and help other people out there, help my daughter, you know, give people awareness and let young women know, like, you're not alone. This happens a lot. And it's not okay for people to take advantage of you or to put you in that situation where you feel like you're less of a person because somebody took advantage of you. It's not okay. So I do want you guys to know, like, if you ever have any questions or need to speak to somebody, I am here. He is here. You know, I've been in other situations where I was sexually assaulted, and I'm learning now that I have to take action, because these people will get away with what they're doing if you don't take action. So don't ever think you're alone because you're taking action. Although people may not agree with you, you do have people that agree with you that will understand and will be by your side the whole time.
Exactly. So I was telling her today, you're going to have people who would bully you or be negative about it, but you have to understand, people are afraid of what they don't understand. That's why we have to continue to educate them and others what to do. The reason why people stay silent is because they're afraid of the society, people who they love, they judge them. But the thing is, by you speaking up, you could save someone else, because someone else could get killed or something. So you're doing a lot, because if the people don't get the help, that raping the people or sexually assaulting the people can be worse, and they can be murderers. So it's really important that you do speak up. More importantly for yourself, and to save other people out there. So, did you ever, anyone bully you, make fun of you, or didn't believe you? How did you overcome that, if that did happen?
When I first started going through with the investigation, I did have like some police officers come to me and say like, oh, well, you were there with this person, how do you know, like, how can they really believe that what I'm saying is true, you know? Even though I'm all like beat up and all these things, you can clearly see something had happened to me. There were a few police officers that were like a little rude about it, maybe because it was in the city of Chicago, I don't know, or because, you know, they did tell me like there may be a chance that they won't press charges because they won't believe you. I wasn't necessarily bullied because I didn't really tell anybody my story. Anybody who has heard my story has basically been able to understand. Maybe there are like a few of my cousins, younger cousins that I spoke to about it, they don't really understand the situation. So, you know, they kind of find it hard to like not judge, you know, what happened in this situation. But I don't take that out on them, because at the end of the day, like, it's like she said, it's hard for people to understand things that they have not actually been through themselves. So for me, it's all about just staying true to myself and knowing that what I'm doing is right and I'm helping somebody in the end. And even if that person is myself, I have to make sure that I'm healed and I'm doing better so that I'm able and capable to raise my own child or children eventually.
And then from this, is there a lesson that you have learned and that you will continue to learn, or continue to, from what happened from you, to make you stronger, you know, each day? Like, what did you take from what happened to you? What did you take from it?
To keep pushing. Don't let something like this value who you are. Don't let yourself think that that's what you're worth, basically. Because when this happened to me, I will tell you, I was I was sad all the time. I cried a lot. I was very depressed, and I didn't think I had any self-worth. But at the end of the day, I have a child that I have to keep pushing for. I want to have a better life. So I had to pull myself together, get a little bit of help that I needed, and keep pushing and keep knowing that I am worth more than what happened to me. I am a better person than what happened to me. It may have been a mistake on my part because I trusted somebody, but that's also where you learn not to put your trust in people that you don't really know. You get to know people, meet them in public places. I'm not saying meeting somebody online is completely wrong, but I do believe that you should do a little bit more research and know this person, meet them in public, hang out with them around your people, or, you know, in public, just so you know, because there will always be signs of somebody who was abusive, whether it's sexually, mentally, physically. There are always signs in the beginning. So, you know, if I would have took a little bit more time to actually get to know this person, then I probably would have seen the signs and stayed away from him, and this would have never happened. But because I went out on a whim and I just was like, okay, hey, I'm gonna meet up with this guy and hang out with him, and that's what I did. You know, that's what happened to me, and I had to learn from that. Like, okay, I can't just go out and meet people online. I have to get to know them. I have to be around them publicly, meet them in public first, because things like this do happen. And, you know, I've heard of things like this happening, and I've thought, okay, that would never happen to me, you know, but it does happen. It can happen to you. So you have to be aware of, you know, things like that happening, because there are plenty of crazy people in this world who will take advantage of you.
Exactly. I just want to say, if you're being sexually assaulted or raped, never ever blame yourself. No one asks to get raped. No one asks. No one does. Doesn't matter what you wear, where you came from. There's no rape me on your forehead or nothing. So when this happens, do not blame yourself. None of this is your fault. But I feel like for you to heal or to continue to keep going with your life, you have to forgive yourself, not the person who did this to you. You have to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. You got to keep going and don't be silent. You have to communicate people that you love, who motivate you and love and care about you. That's what I could say if you are going through the same situation. You can and you will get better. You have to be around people who motivate you and love and care about you and never will judge you. And sometimes it is about understanding, but you also need to love everyone. You don't know what anyone has been through. That is just crazy. That is really, so right now it's going on for trial. So do you know, is there a date for it or?
It's like, well, they go to court almost every other week or every 2 weeks for it. Like, he was having hearings and things like that. So my, I would say my prosecutor, the person who's prosecuting them, my lawyer, I guess I would say, they basically call me every week or every other week, once a month at least, to let me know what's going on. They have not set a date for trial. It will be probably in the next like month or so, and I'll have to show up and I'll have to obviously tell my story, which I'm kind of nervous about. And right now, like, it's hard for me because my mom's not here. Some people know the situation with my mom, some don't. My mom has been my biggest support with this situation. She's went with me to speak to the detectives in every situation. Like, every time I had to meet with them, she was there. So if you have just one person to support you, just one, you're gonna be okay. Just know, like, you don't need a bunch of people to support you. You just need one person who truly believes in you and is gonna be there for you. And that person for me is my mother. And some people don't have a good relationship with their parents. So like I said, I'm always here. Kia's always here. We're always here to listen. If you have anything or even need any help with legal advice or getting counseling or anything like that, please let me know. Because when this first happened to me, I didn't think I could get counseling or anything like that because of my insurance and things like that. And I was just recently told, like, in the neighborhood that I live in, I can actually get free counseling. So, I'm going to go ahead and start doing counseling and therapy and things like that, because those type of things, they work. And people think, like, oh, talking to somebody I don't know, they're going to judge me. But you can actually speak to there are people out there who will speak to you who have literally gone through the same thing that you have gone through. So if you feel more comfortable doing that, try to find somebody who has actually been through your situation, who will understand what you're going through, so you won't feel like you're being judged.
Exactly. I think that's, wow. So, say if your rapist was in front of you, is there anything that you would tell him?
I would tell him that I feel bad for him, because obviously he didn't have a mother or a father or somebody who loved him in his life to teach him. Hold on 1 second. Go ride your bike, babe, okay? Okay, thank you. Sorry about that, guys. But I would obviously tell him, I feel bad for you. I hope you were able to get the help you need, because I do believe that people who rape or do things like this, that there's something mentally wrong with them. So I believe, hopefully, you're able to get that type of help. And just that, like, I don't forgive you for you. I forgive you for myself, because I know deep down inside somewhere you know what you did was wrong. And I just hope that, like, because I hope that, like, you can become a better person after you get out of jail and go through treatment and things like that. Because, like, I learned this man has kids and things like that. So obviously, I hope you're able to become a better person for your kids. And that maybe this is just something to you that you did on impulse, or it was, obviously not a mistake because you knew what you were doing. But maybe something mentally up there is triggering these things for you, and that you're able to get the help you need. Because I really do believe
I love that
you're,
Yes, I love that you said that. That literally, that's growth right there. Because I always tell people, no one was born bad. No one was born to be mean. No one was born a rapist. Everybody has a past. It depends on who you were around, your environment, and how you were raised. So if someone sexually assaulted you, obviously you never know if someone touched them, you know. And so if they don't get help for that, it will continue to occur. So if someone has sexually assaulted you, and if you were silent about it, you speaking up, you can get the help that they need, so they won't be more turned into rapists and murderers.
Yes.
So what you said, I think that was really, really important, because wow, because it does start up here mentally. Obviously something is not right up here. So obviously no one's seen the signs when they're younger, or no one cared enough when they're younger, so when they get old, it's probably too late. So from this video, you know, we just want you to know to never be silent about it. No one should make you be silent. Speak up, obviously for yourself, but other people. How many lives that you'll be saving? You saved countless of lives, because you could have been killed.
Yeah.
So don't think about if people are going to judge you and make fun of you, because that's just the world we live in. We can't control how people feel, how people see us. You only control how you take it. So you got to remember that. And I just want you to say, from here on out, keep going. I'm proud of you. You are a strong woman, and I'm sorry you have to go through what you've done. But this situation has made you the person that you are today.
Yes.
You got your strength. You didn't let it knock you down, beat you up. You continue to keep going. That right there is strength. You are still hurt every day, but you keep going for your daughter and yourself.
Yes, that's what one of my friends said that last night. Like, somehow you always manage to stay positive, because that was the one thing, like, when this happened to me, that was the one thing that kept me going, was being able to stay positive for myself and my child. Like, I couldn't let my child see me down and depressed, because those things trigger children, you know, and that is something that a child can pick up on. And you don't want, obviously for me, I don't want my child growing up depressed, sad, you know, things like that, feeling alone. So obviously, even now, I speak to my kid and I let her know, if you feel alone or you feel like something's wrong, come to me, talk to mommy. You always have me. So, because that's what my mom taught me. And when this situation first happened, I didn't want to speak to my mom. I didn't want to tell her what happened. But when I came home, she's seen that I was beat up. So obviously there was no way for me to hide what happened from my mother. And even if I didn't tell her, she would have found out eventually, because I wouldn't have been able to keep it from her. So never feel like you don't have anybody to talk to. And don't ever hold back from going to the police or anything like that, because I'm telling you, you can save not only your life, but other lives as well.
And if you don't, for any reason, don't have no support or people around you that's not good enough for you or whatever, come to one of us, come to both of us. I wouldn't mind going to the court with you, cops with you, because this is something you should never go through alone. Definitely shouldn't. So you definitely need to have a good support system, even if it's just one person, just that one person, that's all it is. But make sure you have that support and that motivation, because you're going to need it. You cannot, no matter what anybody says, you cannot go through this alone. I always say that. We're not born to just help ourselves. We're here for everyone. So if you guys need help speaking up, or need help going to the cops or the court office, go to one of us, both of us, whatever. I'll give you her information in the description box below, her Facebook, Instagram, whatever, email, whatever she wants to be put on there. You can contact her if you want to talk to her, need more advice. She's definitely there. I just want to say thank you for reaching out to me, telling the story. She came to me, she's like, I wanted to say something, and I was like, I didn't know what. She told me, I was like, this is amazing. You're going to save a lot of people. You're going to inspire so many people. A lot of people are silent about this, but we can't. We got to keep speaking up to make a change, and it starts with you.
Yes.
So if this happened to you, I want you to know to stay strong. Everything will be okay. It will. Remember what I said, without a storm, you will not have your strength. So whatever storm you're in, you will get out of that storm. It's up to you, and you can do it. Anything you want to say to anyone?
I just want to say thank you guys for listening. I hope my story inspires you. I hope you guys, take this and understand that this is not to bash anybody or anything like that. I just wanted to tell my story and let you guys know that you're not alone. And that, like I said, I'm here if anybody needs to talk.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.